that I've been studying, but I'm not seeing any results. But you were able to study and get results at the end of the day, or let me say, an excellent result. Okay.
Get the right materials. You know what you need. Get them from your seniors, and then start now.
Hi, welcome to another episode of my Time Wait series, where I meet up with seasoned guests and discuss peculiar issues pertaining to pharmacy. On this particular episode, I'm privileged to have with me Dr. Hussein Abdullah, my own mate, who was adjudged the best student for the 2020 GPPQE exams that we wrote. And he happened to actually sweep all the awards that came in that exams. And today I'm happy to have a chat with him so that he will share his secrets with you. Thank you, Dr. Abdullah, for making it up to us, and you're highly welcome to the show today.
Thank you very much, Dr. Obed.
All right,
I'm happy and honored to be on your program.
glad to hear that. You, as I mentioned, were my mates. You are actually my mate back in school, and I happen to know about you, but for the sake of my audience who do not know you, I want you to kind of introduce yourself a bit so that we can start the chat.
Oh, okay. As you said, my name is Dr. Abdullah Husseini. Currently a pharmD house officer at Tamale Teaching Hospital in Tamale. I had my basic education in Elmina Model Junior High School. And I had my secondary school, my secondary education in the Great Adesado College. Graduated in 2009.
Oh, okay.
No, I entered in 2009 rather than graduated in 2013.
Oh,
yeah, I was among the last batch of the 4-year
4 years.
senior high school. Yeah, and I had admission to Ken University to pursue the pharmD program, which we graduated together just this year. That's something short about me. Not to forget, I was born and bred in Minazungo, so that's where I come from, and currently I stay at Tamale.
Okay. Thank you once again for honoring this invitation to be on the show. And now let's get into business. So you were adjudged the overall best candidates for the just ended Ghana pharmacy professional qualifying examination. And how was it like? How did you feel knowing that you won all the awards that were given after this particular exams?
Okay. Obviously, I'll be happy. Throughout my preparations, I never expected, or I didn't put in my mind that it wasn't a target.
Okay.
During the preparation to be the overall best students. No, it wasn't. I think if I targeted anything, it was to win the law award, because I knew I was very good in the law and I had read it over and over again. But even that, it was just a possibility I thought of. I never expected that. So when on Monday the results were to be released, I had a call actually in the morning from Pharmacy Council. I had a call before the results came. One of the panel, during the interview, one of the panelists, she called me and was asking me where I did my city and a lot of questions, like a background question. So I was, hey, what's happening? And my friend Nabil, every 5 minutes, Nabil will call me and ask me, how far? Have you gotten anything? Have you heard anything? And I was telling him. Yeah, so obviously, when it came around 11 a.m. and I saw overall best, I was very happy. What I was waiting for is to see passed by my name. Even though I knew I was pretty confident that at least I'll pass. But that was all I was waiting for. And then it came out that I was the overall best student. So I was very happy. I called immediately Nabil to thank him because he really helped me a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I see. All right, that's great, and congratulations once again. So now,
Thank you.
people watching are wondering what are the secrets to succeeding, because you were studying, not looking for it, or not really knowing that you were going to get this award, but you finally did. So what were your secrets to getting this award?
Okay. A very difficult question. I would say it's not a secret. It's not much of a secret. It's just right from the beginning, I knew failing this wasn't an option. That is it. There was so much at stake that I just can't fail.
Okay.
So that was the first thing. There's no way I should fail this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do everything possible to be able to pass this.
Okay.
And everything about my pharmD studies from first year to the last year of the GPPQ has been about group work, about friends and colleagues.
Okay.
So I usually engage in a lot of group discussions, and having some very good and fantastic friends like Solomon, Nabil, Victor, and co
Mm.
around who will always motivate you when you are a little down. So it's not much of a secret. It's a little hard work on my side, and then
Okay.
the help of a lot of friends
Okay.
in group studies. I think these are a few things that really helped me in attaining this feat.
Wow, wow. So I think I can share it with you in this, because I also happen to have a few friends. If for nothing at all, my group members who helped me a lot, because around the time it was a bit difficult. This Corona season, having stay home and finding it difficult, even the motivation to study wasn't there. So it's very true when you say that when you have friends around to motivate you, it goes a long way. So if that is the case, what do you tell the people out there who are also looking forward to learning and getting to where you have gotten to? What do you have to say to them?
Okay, it's just to have the belief. You have to believe in yourself. That is it. And then usually, if you have a reason, you have a reason that maybe something that motivates you, a reason to attain the success that you are after. I think that goes a long way because for me, there were people that were looking up to me, a
Okay.
lot of people. When I was in school, I was a leader in my association, the Ghana Muslim Student Association.
Wow.
I was a leader. I was at a point I became the president.
President, yes, I
I
remember.
was teaching students on campus. I
Wow.
was
Yeah.
teaching students off campus. So there were a lot of people that knew that, oh, I'm preparing for exams. They would call on to ask the results.
Okay.
They would want to know that the way I motivate them, I talk to them, I should set an example to them.
Exactly.
Because in
Exactly.
GIMSA, if they talk about academic motivating the first year, the younger ones, they always call upon me as one of
Okay.
the people to call upon, not the
Okay.
only person actually, but yeah, and I motivate them a lot. So I was supposed to set an example.
That's
So
true.
that motivating me alone was good. Yes, and also my family, my brother will always call upon me to put a lot of pressure on me. Are you learning? You can't
Mm.
disappoint. This like a lot of people and then a lot of situations to look up to, and
Okay.
that
Okay.
really helps. So I would advise anyone who is preparing for an examination that you should get something to motivate you. It's not easy
No.
to motivate yourself. It's not easy. You know that,
Yeah.
especially during Corona time when we were home, that we don't know when we are resuming school.
Dreaming.
We don't even
That's
know
true.
whether we write GPPQ this year. So what you should do? Yeah, this is when you need friends and group members. Yeah. So
Really.
I would also advise anyone who is preparing for any exams to get a group members or friends,
Okay.
a few friends that when you are not motivated enough, when you don't feel to learn, you get in touch with them, you discuss something, at least it helps, it's better.
Wow, wow. So they should get motivation. I like that part. Get motivation. Once something is motivating you or you are looking up to something, or as you said, a lot of people are looking up to you. You don't want to disappoint them. Hence, you try your best to go all the lengths in order to achieve that kind of success. So knowing having that kind of motivation pushing you towards your studies, was there any form of challenges that you faced? And if there were, how did you overcome the challenges, either prior to the GPPQE or during the GPPQE itself?
Okay, our we were privileged to have written the GPPQE right after
Yeah,
school exams.
yeah,
Unfortunately, there was more than 2 months after school exams to the GPPQE.
yeah.
So, my major challenge was keeping up. We had just 2 weeks to prepare for the school exams
Yes.
to write
Mm,
in a
yes.
week. So there was a lot of pressure. I learned almost all the topics in that under pressure. I remember my group
Okay.
in SRC, Victor, and the rest. Like a lot of pressure. We learned a lot. And all
Okay.
of a sudden, you had to go and rest for 2 months or more, 2 months plus for the
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
GPPQE.
mm-hmm.
So I felt I've learned much. So there's not much to learn. I just have to wait.
Okay.
When after July, I came home to Tamale. I was home eating and sleeping, not having much to do, and gradually, you rust. That's how knowledge is. If you learn, you don't practice, you don't revise, it fades away.
Okay.
So my major challenge was keeping up that learning,
Mm,
keeping up
okay.
learning
Okay.
constantly,
Okay.
knowing that the GBBQ was quite a few months away,
Away. Okay.
learning at home during the lockdown. So I
Mm-hmm.
was home for about a month without learning, actually
I
learning.
see. I
So
see.
I had to pack my things, leave my comfort zone, which is the home in
Wow.
Tamale. I
Wow.
came to
Wow.
Kumasi, I came to Kumasi, stayed in Naija, where my homestay was. Stayed there for 1 month plus, more than a month,
Wow.
just to leave the comfort zone, be
Mm-hmm.
close to campus, close to friends, and then giving myself a better opportunity to be able to learn. And it really was successful because
Wow.
when I
Wow.
was there, I don't have my little nephew to disturb me. I don't have TV. I don't have a lot of things that used to distract me. So I
Wow.
wake up early morning, I take my breakfast. By 7, latest 8 o'clock, I'm on campus, and I will stay till evening. Then I come back
Mm-hmm.
home.
I
So at least,
see.
even if I'm not learning throughout that period, at least I will
Mm-hmm.
learn a few hours
Yeah. Yeah.
within that period. And I did that constantly till the GPPQ time, and we went to Accra. And also, as I told you earlier, I said earlier, it's about group work. I
Okay.
usually like the group discussion. So
Mm-hmm.
I joined this class. It's one pharmacist who helps prepare um, prospective GPPQE candidates,
And it's okay.
to prepare them in Kumasi. I joined and it was fantastic.
I
Like
see.
motivates you, tells you that there's no reason why you should fail if you've been able to go through
Mm.
pharmD in
Oh,
university,
okay.
that pressure. If you've been able
Sadly.
if you have been able to survive 6 years of pharmD in K University or pharmacy anywhere, he was of the view that you have no reason to fail the GPPQ.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
GPPQ. And I think I agreed with him after the exams. Much of the things that we saw there were things we've heard during our sit year, the
Okay.
basic things. Even though the pressure, exams, anything can happen. So it's
Okay.
still possible for you to fail because of the pressure, but not
Mm.
because of the knowledge. Certainly not because you did. Yeah, and another challenge that I faced was combining my academics with the teaching that I was doing.
Oh, okay.
Um, right from I think second year or third year, I started teaching part time.
I see.
So the weekend that I'm supposed to sit down and learn, use that to go out as far as Atonsu and beyond
Wow.
to
Wow.
meet
Your
students
students.
there. Yeah, I
I
was
see.
doing that with so, and it took all my weekend. And also, I mentioned that I was a GIMSA president.
Yeah.
And if anyone knows about GIMSA, it's really entails a lot. So being the president also took a lot of my time. Sometimes you'll be in class and you'll be called, you have to attend, you have to meet an administrator, you have to meet a dean in a different faculty because of a program. It
I
took a
see.
lot of my time. So these were challenges. So in surmounting them, I realized most of these things I did during the daytime. Most of this, my teaching, GEMSA work, everything was during the
Mm-hmm.
daytime. So
Okay.
my only option was to stay awake at night.
Night.
So most
Wow.
of my
Wow.
study was done at night.
Wow. Wow.
Being that I have very limited time, I start preparing for exams. I start preparing for um, examinations before time, like earlier, as compared to the last minute person that I was. First
Okay.
year to 10th, I was kind of last minute. I will learn only when I see the timetable, and I will be serious, always in the library. But during the later times, I didn't have enough time. So if I
Okay.
wait on, it would really affect me badly. So these were a few challenges that I faced, and then how I surmounted them.
Wow. 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 So basically, even though I was in the same class with you, it's not every one of these that I was aware of, and it's very good you were able to overcome these challenges and achieve such a high feat for yourself. This one, you deserve the award, and you deserve more than that. Congratulations. And
Thank you.
so, talking about focusing on studies and studies and studies. Now, the question I want to ask is, what's the study method? What do you actually do when you say, I'm going to study? So that those who are watching, who want to have a fair idea, someone is saying that I've been studying, but I'm not seeing any results. But you were able to study and get results at the end of the day, or let me say, an excellent result at the end of the day. So how do you actually study?
Yeah. This question, how to study, is a question that can never be fully answered. You
Wow.
can't answer it to satisfy everybody because
Okay.
most of the time I go online how best to study. You find a lot of different people saying a lot of different things. It's
That's
usually
true.
subjective. Yeah,
Okay.
it's individualized.
Okay.
Yeah, the way I will study and be successful will be different from the way another person will study. So those
Mm.
who say, "Oh, I study a lot, but I don't pass, I don't see results," it means they are maybe probably they are not doing the right thing. They are not studying the right way. You have to know yourself. Are you a kind of person who picks up when you listen, or you are someone who is visual? When you
Okay.
read, you look at it, it sticks. We have two types of people, mainly two types of learners. And
Okay.
personally, someone who likes to listen. When I hear something from a colleague
Mm-hmm.
or from a lecturer or something, it's more difficult for me to forget
Oh, okay.
than what I read, what I just look and read. Yes.
Mm.
So this is my major way of learning was in discussion.
Okay. Okay.
So yes, discussing with colleagues. And I have a colleague, Victor, Dr. Victor,
Yeah.
who is just like me. Yes, he also likes to discuss a lot. So in
Yeah.
our group, even if there's no group discussion, myself and Victor alone can have a group discussion. We
I
can sit down.
see.
Yes, yeah, and Nabil, even on phone, we can talk for an hour or more.
Okay.
Sometimes discussing a lot of things. So
Okay.
for me personally, I really used to listen a lot. And another thing is, it's not always that you get people to discuss with. So there are YouTube short videos.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
I'm kind of a lazy learner. I'm unable to take big books and then reading them. Maybe picking uh, Roger Walker and reading all the topics from A to Z is very difficult for me. So what I do is, if I want to learn, let's say I want to learn about PUD, so I will go online, YouTube,
Okay.
PUD videos, about 5 to 10 minutes. Watch. They will give you a general overview of it, so you
Exactly.
understand what.
Exactly.
And when I'm pressured, when I'm under pressure, I don't read books, voluminous books.
Okay.
I read this book, Pharmacy Case Studies.
Oh,
Also
okay.
very good preview. When you look at it, the questions it answers also gives you a preview. So that even if I don't get time to visit the Roger Walker and other books, at least I have an idea about it. And going with the BNF summaries, that was also a secret. I'm not advising people to use these simplified materials, but these are things that when you're under pressure, they really help. Like the BNF summary.
Oh,
The
okay.
next Fatwa was one of the books I really liked because 1 page, 2 pages is done. You are done with the topic. But it's very limited information, so you can't rely on them. But they were short ways I used to learn. And also, when I go to campus, I told you I used to go to campus from morning till evening.
Yeah.
Um, you are more likely to waste time to sit, watch movies and other things. During that time,
Oh,
you
okay.
think that, oh, he went and he studied for 9 hours, meanwhile, he studied for 1 hour. So what I do, and I'm really, really, really I easily get distracted.
Distracted. Oh, okay.
Yeah. In things that can distract me, I don't have movies on my laptop. I have
Okay.
just about 5 or 6 movies, and I've watched them twice, thrice, 4 times.
I
So that
see.
there's no motivation to watch them.
Watch them again. Okay.
Yes. When I watch a movie, I delete it. That's how I am. So on my laptop, you don't see the movies. It was after GBBQ I was asking
Ah.
people, "Let me go and watch." And this house manager will not even allow you to watch the movie.
Watch
Yeah.
them.
So I try to take distractions away from me. So
Wow.
movies are not on my laptop. No. And when I go, I set a time. So from 9:30 to 10, I'll read maybe the law. Um, I'll read FDA.
Okay.
Then 10:30 to this. So when I sit down, I make a timetable there for that period I'm sitting till the end of the day. And then I
Okay.
try to go by it. And I leave a lot of minutes in between. So after one session, I leave about 10, 15 minutes. The
Okay.
next session, when it's time for prayers, as a Muslim, when it's time for prayers, I leave about 1 hour, I go and pray, come,
Okay.
sit down, just make calls, distract myself. But I don't work with a timetable for a whole week or for a whole month. It's just
I
the
see.
day when I make that timetable and I try my best to follow. So if I
Okay.
say I'm learning PUD for 1 hour,
Mm-hmm.
if the 1 hour is up, whether I'm done or not, I stop.
Stop. Wow.
Then I
Wow.
go to the next. So that will make sure that I try I concentrate and do that,
Okay.
and concentrate on the time I have to fully finish what I want to do. And I learned this from Solomon.
Okay.
He actually employs, and we know Solomon, one of the best.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
them
true.
was really.
Wow, wow. So these are indeed great advice. I can actually relate with a lot of them. But I know some of the audience, even though might have heard of the Ghana Pharmacy Professional Qualification Examination, may be wondering how it actually is, especially having learned for 6 good years and you're going to sit for just a paper. They are wondering how it's going to be. So can you enlighten the audience on how the structure of the paper and what to expect for the GPPQE?
Okay, the GBBQ is, as you said, the Ghana Pharmacy Professional Qualifying Examination. And every pharmacist has written this, and every would-be pharmacist would have to write this.
Okay.
It's not like the medical school where only foreign trained write qualifying exams. For pharmacy, foreign and locally trained, we all write the exams.
Okay.
And yeah, the exams is written for pharmD right at the end of your set year. You write it.
Okay.
For B Pharm, after your 4 years, you go through your service, that's your internship, for a year before you write it. So, and then there are two sittings, one earlier, that is usually in July, and the later one in September, November there.
Okay.
And the structure of the GBBQ is basically in two parts, the clinical part and then the law, policies, and
Okay.
ethics part.
Okay.
Yeah. So each paper consists of um, questions on the clinical as well as questions on the law and ethics and the policies.
Okay.
And the clinical part, is you can't exhaust it. Questions can come from anywhere and everywhere, from your first year to your sixth year, and
Okay.
everything you experience during your internship. Questions can come from anywhere. With the
Okay.
law, it is limited. You
Mm.
have the FDA. I don't know why I'm forgetting the Act 857, right, for pharmacy,
Yeah.
and 851 for the public health. Yeah. So these are the mostly over 90% of the questions come from the part four of the Pharmacy
Pharmacy
Council
Council.
of the
Okay.
the law. Over 90% of it come from that side, and
Okay.
then a few will come from the FDA part. Then one or two questions from health insurance, from Ghana Standards Authority, Ghana National Drug Policy. So you focus on the Pharmacy Council and then the FDA. You read that, and that one is limited, as I said. If you
Okay.
read all the acts, you solve some of the past questions, you will get percent of the questions correct because they
Wow.
are limited. What is the major challenge is the clinical, and
Mm.
we know is clinical sometimes decisions are subjective.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes guidelines differ. So that is where the challenge is. So basically, there are two parts: the clinical part, and then the law and ethics and policy part. And
Okay.
about 60% is made up of the clinical part, and then
Okay.
40% of
The
the
law and
law and
ethics.
ethics. That's the general structure of the GP.
Wow. Wow. One other thing too is not everyone is aware that there is an oral session. So can you walk
Mm,
us through the oral session as well?
yeah, yeah, and very important. I forgot. Thank you for the reminder. And after the sitting, usually you are given 3 days to face a panel for an
Okay.
oral session.
Okay.
Yes, and the oral session is mainly to um, test your confidence. That's the main, from my own experience and from what our experienced people have told us. It's
Okay.
mainly to test your confidence,
Okay.
and also it's a way of redeeming yourself in case you couldn't do very well in
Oh,
the written exams. It's a way of
okay.
redeeming yourself. So
Okay.
usually they ask you questions based on your paper, with
Mm.
the clinical part and then the
Okay.
law and ethics. Sometimes they base on your answers you gave. I
Okay.
think this year was different because we had to sheet on a scantron. The
Yeah.
traditional way is you circle the correct answer in the MCQs, then you write with the written. So when you go, your paper is in front of them. That is before this year.
Okay.
And then they look at where you got wrong, you made mistakes, and then they ask you. So you are able to redeem yourself there, and it helps push you up. But this year it was different. So you are getting random questions.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not. One pharmacist told me that you pass on Monday. You pass or fail on Monday, yes, and it's very true.
So
You
it's not
pass
the
or fail.
orals that will determine whether you pass or not. Oh,
No,
okay.
the oral
Okay.
doesn't determine, especially it doesn't determine your failure.
I see.
Especially,
I see.
maybe if the written you marginally failed by a small margin, the oral can be a boost for you to pass.
Okay.
But you
Okay.
won't pass the written and fail, and the oral will fail. It will
Okay.
not happen. So
Okay.
that is
Okay.
why he is of the view that you pass on
Pass on
Monday,
Monday.
pass or
Wow.
fail on Monday. So you put 90% of your effort on Monday. If the paper goes well, you go and they don't ask you much. When I don't remember, they were asking me of COVID-19,
Oh, okay.
what in the pharmacy to prevent. The only clinical question I remember was about this anti-D, giving anti-D to
Okay.
razors mothers with
Oh,
razors
okay.
with teeth.
Okay.
That's the only clinical question I was asked, and that
Mm.
one was for my own answers, my own
Oh,
responses to
okay.
them.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I mentioned about a case I met during my internship,
Oh,
and
okay.
it wasn't a question. I wasn't asked much of a clinical question, and
I see.
I realized I did well, so they didn't bother me, and many of my colleagues do the same thing. They
Okay.
weren't bothered. Yeah, so the oral is there to test your confidence, and the oral is there to also maybe push you a little if you marginally failed the written. That is
Okay.
it.
Okay. All right. So right now, assuming I am going to my final year, let's say for Doctor of Pharmacy, I'm going to my final year. I have 1 year ahead before I write the GPPQE, or for B Farm, I have completed school and I'm doing my national service, preparing towards the GPPQE. What advice will you give me? How do I go about it to ensure that I succeed in the GPPQE?
What I would tell anyone is to start now.
Okay.
Get the right materials. You know what
Okay.
you need. Get them from your seniors, and then start now.
Okay.
And I am emphasizing on getting the right materials because it happened to myself and I think Ibrahim, one of our colleagues,
Okay.
upon a day to the exam, it was Sunday, that we were discussing from these discussions with Victor and I think Ruth
Okay.
in the Zenith College in their room. We were
Okay.
discussing and we realized that the Act 857 that we had, there were missing pages.
Oh, okay. Yes, I
Because
realize that one
there was
too.
a question, yeah, there was a question that it was a past question we were solving, and
Okay.
there was a question, and we were saying, I was confidently saying, oh, this one the law was silent on it, but I think
Mm,
this. They were telling me no, they were quoting. So go to this page and check. I didn't have that page. Ibrahim
I
upon
see.
checked, he didn't have it. So we had to take the complete
Oh, okay.
document from them. And I had to send it to Nabil because Nabil had the same thing that I had.
Okay.
So getting the right materials is very important. And also starting early. Start early. The law, you have to read them. The only thing is you have to read them and get the interpretation right. There are a lot of um, challenges with the interpretation. You might read it, but you can get a question wrong, even
Okay.
though you've read. It boils down to the interpretation, especially with the theory part. So
Mhm.
you read it, and then you make sure you get the interpretations right. And usually you can get that by consulting your seniors. They will help you because of their experience.
Okay.
And during the exams, when you are sitting, so
Mm-hmm.
we are talking about a prospective
Yes.
pharmacist, right? Who is
Yes.
preparing for the GBBQ.
Yes.
Yes, very important. during the exams what you do. The Pharmacy Council is aware that you know more than what they've said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know a lot to tell them. If it's written, you have a lot to write. So they will constrain you with time.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
what they will give you very limited time that naturally you are not supposed to finish at
Okay.
your own comfort. Because if you are given enough time, everybody will pass.
Okay.
Everybody who has done pharmacy will pass. So the time is very limited. So don't start with panicking. Don't panic, giddy, 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 because is 1 hour. No. You have to take your time, relax.
Okay.
And what will help you is, I said earlier that it's in two parts. The law,
Mm-hmm.
the clinical will start up
Mm-hmm.
to the MPQs up to 60, then 61 onwards to 100 will be the law.
Okay.
Usually the law is very easy, very, very easy.
Mm-hmm.
So what I will advise is start with the law. Don't start with the clinicals.
Wow. Wow.
Start with the law part. And within 15 minutes, maximum 20 minutes, you can finish the law, the 40. You can use about 10 to 15 minutes to finish. Seriously, I remember I used about 15 minutes to finish the law, the first 40, the
Wow.
40
Wow.
questions. So you realize you have about 40 minutes plus to do the 60 questions. And then
Mm-hmm.
you have the confidence that, okay, out of this 40 that I've solved, I know if I don't do well, at least I'll get some 30 or 35 correct.
Okay.
So it also motivates you. And you're able to attack the clinical with in high spirits. Otherwise, if you start the clinical, question one, you can't. I remember when I started after doing the law, question one, doubt. Question two, I did. Question three, doubt. Hey. So imagine if I started with that. Already it dampens your
Your
spirit.
spirit. Yeah.
Yes. But knowing that you have some 40 questions or 35 marks waiting at the law, you've done it. It gives you a lot of confidence. And also, any question that you are supposed to think about, you have to think and consider and remember, skip it.
Wow. Wow.
Skip any question that you'd have to think twice about. The
Okay.
first round, you do questions that you don't have to think about. Which of the following is contraindicated in PUD? Then you see an obvious NSAID is there. These are questions that you answer during the
Mm.
your first round, and you
Okay.
skip questions that are voluminous. A
Okay.
lot of they all carry equal marks.
Mm-hmm.
So don't
Mm-hmm.
waste your time on questions that are so demanding, and then the time will be up, and you leave easier questions ahead.
Wow. Wow.
So you go through speed with the speed, answering the very easy ones. Then
Okay.
when you are done, also you know that oh, I've answered about 10 or 20 out of 60. More confidence to come back and then go through the rest that you didn't do.
Rest. Okay.
So this is
Okay.
what will help, and
Okay.
actually it's helped me a lot.
Okay. Okay. Wow. So, with the fact that you are supposed to go and solve the easy ones before you tackle the other ones, I think I am a victim of it for this particular GBBQ that we wrote. I opened the paper only for me to start and question one. Wow, I really do not know the answer. Even the second question, I wasn't sure of the answer. So quickly, I wanted to jump to where I'll find the law because I felt I was well prepared for the laws. And I wasn't really seeing where the law is because I didn't know which number would begin. So I just had to come back. I thought they've messed up the paper, so I had to come back to start from question one. It wasn't easy. It was until I got to the latter part I realized, oh, now it's going well, it's going well. Because the first few clinical questions wasn't easy. So I will definitely agree with your advice that they should start with a more easy one, and also they should not waste time because a lot of our colleagues actually complained on the fact that they couldn't finish the exams and we had limited time actually, but a few others as well were able to finish. So I know that if we follow what you have given right now, they should be able to finish and also come out successful I'm very grateful for the advice that you have given out there. But before I let you go, if you have any final words that you want to give the audience.
First and foremost, I would like to, my message is to those who couldn't make it, those who have written and they couldn't make it.
Okay.
It is just a matter of your tactics, the way you approach the exams. It's not
Okay.
that you are not good enough. No,
Okay.
no one has passed through pharmacy school successfully, and will not be good enough for GPPQE. No,
Wow. Right.
either maybe you didn't prepare adequately, or you didn't approach the exams the right way.
Okay.
I've had a few people I've communicated with who said, oh, they couldn't make it. My message to them is that start again now. And Zach Ziegler, he says the best revenge is massive success. So
Wow.
revenge, take your revenge by succeeding massively. And the only way to succeed is constant practice. You might think that you have a year to write, but the year will come very soon. We are almost done with 2020. Once you start January, the GPQ is just staring at you. You know you have the materials already. You've learned them already. I remember one of our colleagues who couldn't make it. Immediately after the results came, people were congratulating, we were congratulating each other. He PM'd me and he told me, congratulations. And I also replied, oh, thank you, congratulations to you. He told me I didn't make it, straightforward.
Wow. Wow.
And I was very impressed about the fact that he didn't conceal it from me. He's my very good friend. I didn't make it. So what did you do? How should I? Because I must kill it this time. And I was so happy. I told him you must leave the house, go back to campus, stay on campus, prepare for the receipt. You need less than 2 weeks. You have written it already. You are a good student, I know you. So prepare, and after the exam, he called me that it was so easy. It was very easy. And he came out, he passed. So the same thing I would like others to look at. When you didn't make it, the first thing you have to do is look at the things you didn't do right. Try to correct and start from now. And then you make it. For the new students, those who are yet to write it for the first time, listen and then contact your seniors. Talk to them. They'll teach you how they went about it, how they were able to pass, and then that should be very easy for you. Also, I would like to thank my mate, Dr. Obed, you are part. You people are always at the high, the average
pressure
in the sky. When we are on the ground, so we are trying to catch you. So people like you, Koko, Solo, Nabil, Victor, a lot of motivation. My group members, Noemi, Victor, Solomon, Ibrahim, Jamfua, a lot of them. I would like to really thank them, use this opportunity to thank them, especially Nabil, Solomon. Yeah, for the good they did to me. And thank you very much for also hosting me on your show.
You're welcome. So one thing that you didn't mention that I have realized from you is that you're aggressive towards knowledge. So what I observe is that anytime anything comes up, you are eager to know. So you like asking questions, you ask questions, and I think that one too actually helps a lot. So personally, I also like to ask questions, and when I see people like that, I realize that, oh yeah, this person is really willing to gather knowledge, and this goes a long way to help us. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you for the information. And I'm so glad. I believe that my audience will enjoy this particular episode and they've learned a lot. And anybody at all who watches this one will also be motivated to go and succeed massively in the GPPQE. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
So thank you for watching to the end of this particular episode. I believe that you have really learned a lot. Go out there and achieve massive success with all the tools, the resources, the information that you have gathered from this particular episode and subsequent episode to achieve success in the GPPQE. Also, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, do subscribe for more pharmacy related videos, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.